Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you for joining me for another missing video. On June the 15th of 2021, 62-year-old Ella Mae Begay disappeared in the middle of the night from her home in the Navajo Nation in Sweetwater, Arizona. The Navajo Nation is a Native American territory covering around 17,544,500 acres. It is centered around the northeastern part of Arizona, but also stretches into Utah and New Mexico. She was last seen the day prior on Monday, June the 14th. It is not believed that Ella Mae left on her own, but more so that she was taken from her home or forced to leave. Ella Mae is around 5 foot 1 inch tall, 110 to 120 pounds with a slender build. She is well known in her community. She is an elder and also a master pictorial rug weaver. Her weavings are absolutely amazing, and I can't imagine how much work goes into creating one of these beautiful pieces. When I did a search of Ella Mae's name on newspapers.com when I was researching, I found many articles where she had won competitions at the Indian market for her weaving. So she is a very talented lady, and there are even some people that collect her art. Ella Mae's truck is also missing. It is a silver 2005 Ford F-150. It has a chrome side step. It is missing the door cover of the gas cap, and the tailgate is always open. The truck has the Arizona license plate AFE 7101. If this vehicle isn't hidden away somewhere and someone is out and about driving it, they could have switched the plates. They may have even altered the vehicle to look somewhat different, so keep that in mind. From what I understand, Ella Mae's daughter lives about 50 yards or so away from her mother, and sometime in the early morning hours of the day Ella Mae disappeared, she says someone busted in her door. Now, this is at the daughter's home, not Ella Mae's. She says she hid in her bedroom, and when the man who had forced his way in left, he headed in the direction of Ella Mae's home, and she later saw Ella Mae leave in her truck. I don't think she called the police. She tried to call Ella Mae, but Ella Mae wasn't answering. Other family members were called. They were trying to find out where she was because neither she or her truck had returned to her home. No one had seen her. Some family members were able to crawl through a window of Ella Mae's home and see that her purse was there, which I'm assuming she normally took her purse with her if she went anywhere. So they thought something was very wrong, and they reported her missing at 10:55 a.m. Tuesday, June 15th, and she was reported missing to the Navajo Police Department Shiprock District. A grid search was done in the area surrounding her home by police and volunteers from the community. Arizona Department of Public Safety did help them with aerial searches. Search teams searched across northern Arizona and into San Juan County, Utah, but they didn't find her. Now, Ella Mae is not a careless person. Her family describes her as being a very cautious person, always very aware of her surroundings. She wouldn't open her door for someone unless she knew them. She wouldn't let someone inside her home, especially during a pandemic, and she most certainly would not have left with a stranger. Her niece, Seraphine, told me that Ella Mae never hurt anyone, nor had any intentions to do so. Ella Mae minded her own business and always wanted everyone to be safe, to take care of themselves, and she wanted her kids and siblings to prosper in life. So where did she go? Who took her? Where did they take her? And where is her truck? It is not believed that she would have willingly left on her own. She had plans. She was going to get to visit with her family over the summer. She was going to get to see her son and her grandchildren. In fact, her son had just spoken with her on June the 12th, 3 days before she disappeared, and they had been talking over these plans to visit. Ella Mae had recently made upgrades to her home by having solar panels installed. She had previously gone without electricity in her home, using only oil lamps and candles for light. It's obvious she planned to stay in the home and the area. So I highly doubt she would have just up and left. After Ella Mae disappeared, pretty quickly there was a person of interest named. 21-year-old Preston Tolth happened to be at a house that was near Ella Mae's home the night before she disappeared. He had gotten into an argument. I think it was more of a verbal fight, maybe not a physical fight, but he had caused a commotion at the residence and police were called. I don't know the details of this fight or what it was about. I'm unsure if alcohol and or drugs were involved, but no charges were filed and I don't think anything really came of it. The next day, though, when Ella Mae was reported missing, police wanted to speak with the people in the area, and that included anyone that had been at the home where the fight had been, because there had been a disturbance, and then a woman went missing right down the road the same night. Police felt it was worth looking into. The only person police couldn't find that had been there was Preston Tolth. He had skipped out. They did find Preston on Thursday, June the 17th, so just a couple of days later. They found him in Thoreau, New Mexico. I'm not positive I'm pronouncing that correctly, but that was where he lived, and he had a warrant on charges unrelated to Ella Mae's disappearance. He was arrested there and then for failure to comply with his probation on aggravated assault charges. Now, like I said, these aggravated assault charges were from a previous incident with a family member and not related to Ella Mae. So while he was in custody at Crown Point Department of Corrections and then later the San Juan County Adult Detention Center, I'm unsure what he said to police, but he didn't admit to anything or say whether or not he knew where Ella Mae was or what had happened to her. Preston has since been released. I did see a short video clip on Facebook of Preston walking down a highway holding a poster of Ella Mae, but I don't know if he was really trying to help or it was just for show. I'm going to guess the latter. It was a pretty short clip. That's just my opinion. I have seen a report on a news site that Preston Tolth and Ella Mae do not know each other, but I believe they did. Preston's father is dating Ella Mae's sister, so there is that connection. It's highly unlikely that they didn't know who the other one was. Seraphine Warren is Ella Mae's niece, and she has been a powerful advocate for her aunt. She and her family launched their own search. They are doing their best to get her face out there. Seraphine is keeping people updated via the Trailing Ella Mae Facebook page, which I will link below. They've had people come out with search dogs, and Seraphine walked more than 150 miles from Ella Mae's home to the Navajo Nation's capital of Window Rock. And she did this to raise awareness for not only Ella Mae, but for other missing, murdered Indigenous women. Because in case you were unaware, missing and murdered Indigenous women, missing and murdered Indigenous people, period, get very little attention when they go missing or when something happens to them. Ella Mae's case is now with the Navajo Nation's Criminal Investigations Unit and the FBI, and they have changed her case from a missing person to foul play. Now, Ella Mae's family, I'm sure, is dealing with a lot right now. Someone keeps tearing down Ella Mae's missing posters. Family is not getting updates from law enforcement like they should. And in my opinion, it seems like the family is kind of on their own in trying to find Ella Mae. Her story is not on national news. It isn't well known like it should be, as is the case with many of the cases I cover. I only know about this case because one of my amazing subscribers emailed me about it. My in-laws live only about 4 hours away from where Ella Mae went missing, and I texted them the other day and asked them if they had heard about Ella Mae's disappearance, thinking they surely had since they are so close. They had not. They didn't know anything about it until I told them. So her story is not getting out there, guys. Please help get her story heard. Share her flyer, keep an eye out for her and the truck. Share this video if you think it will help. Visit the Trailing Ella Mae Facebook page that the family has set up and show your support. Her family loves her, they miss her, and they want her home. Ella Mae's 63rd birthday was on September 28th, and this is the first year she did not get to celebrate her birthday with her family. There is a GoFundMe set up. They are raising money to offer a reward for information leading to finding Ella Mae. I'll put the link for that in the description box if you would like to help out. I have donated to it. I will never suggest you all donate to something that I have not donated to myself. And if you can't donate, sharing the flyer and sending prayers are great as well. Any kind of support you can offer to Ella Mae and her family, I'm sure is greatly appreciated. Anyone with information on Ella Mae's disappearance should call the Navajo Police Department Shiprock District at 505-368-1350 or 505-368-1351. You can also just call 911 if you know anything. Even if you think what you know is insignificant, the smallest little bit of information could be just the thing police need to crack this and find Ella Mae. Thank you so much for watching, guys. It really means a lot to me. Please click that subscribe button and give this video a like so I know it's being seen. And it also helps bump it up in the YouTube algorithm, which means more people will see Ella Mae's story. If you don't want to subscribe, that's okay too. Just know that I appreciate you being here for this video. I would highly suggest checking out my entire missing playlist, as each case I cover is super important and deserves more exposure. Someone out there knows what happened to Ella Mae. Perhaps even someone watching this video. So will you be the one who looks away or the one who does something about it? I'll see you all next week.